Hello. Today I'll be sharing a method you can use to synthesize Shepard tones. A Shepard tone is a sound that appears to be infinitely rising in pitch or infinitely descending in pitch. I'll be doing this in phase plant. I'll add an analog oscillator. I'll start by setting it to sine. I'll set harmonic to 0. I'll set shift to the lowest pitch that we want, which I'll use 5. Then I'll add an LFO. Drag the point so that it becomes a ramp shape like this. Then I'll rename one of these macros to rate, and I'll assign this to the rate of the LFO. I'll set the lowest rate to be 0.05, and the maximum rate here to be, let's say, 2. I'll then copy this LFO, and on this one I'll go to the cosine preset. Next, I'll move both of these to a group. Then I'll rename the group 1. Now we have two LFOs that are in sync with each other. I'm going to make a descending Shepard tone, so I want to click this negative only button here. I'll also set the oscillator's level to 0. Next, what we want to do is copy this setup so we've got 8 instances of it. So 8 groups with 2 LFOs each and 8 analog oscillators. When you reach the end here, you might notice that the macro is no longer assigned to the rate of these LFOs. That's just because we've hit the maximum number of things you can assign to a single macro. But we can get around this quite easily. Just need to remove this connection. And then we can use this macro to modulate this other macro, which I'll call rate 2. And then we just need to reassign this to all the things that aren't currently assigned. Next, I'll assign all of our pitch LFOs. So this first one, I'll assign to the first one. I'll right click this shift, and then in this box here, I'm going to type the maximum frequency we want, which I'm going to go for 2000. Then I'll repeat this for the other oscillators. Then we need to assign the volume LFOs. For this, we just need to assign it to the level of each oscillator. I'll make it so it goes up to 100%. Now we need to edit the phase of the LFOs so that we effectively have 8 different increments. Because we want 8 increments, we need to divide 360 by 8, which gives us 45. So we'll set the first group to be minus 180, which is the lowest point. Then minus 135, minus 90, minus 45, 0, 45, 90, and 135. Now we can play a key. I'm going to add a limiter just so we can control the gain quite easily. I'd actually like it a bit slower, so I'm going to adjust this rate macro. I'll adjust the rate of all the LFOs. I'll add a flanger, and I'll set it really slow, so it just adds a bit of subtle modulation. And also add a delay with a reasonably high delay time, and I'll set feedback to 0 and mix fairly low. This is a bit like us just adding more oscillators in a much more easy to set up way. Now let's see how that sounds. Thanks for watching.